Today is day 311 of the podcast, and Hebrews 5:8 through 10 reads, "Although he was a son, he learned obedience from the things that he suffered. And having been made perfect, he became to all of those who obey him the source of eternal salvation, being designated by God as a high priest according to the order of Melchizedek." Jesus has two phases to his life, and we're going to look at both of them. While among us, Jesus modeled the earthly role of being a son to the Father. And as he lived with his people, Israel, his life was an illustration of the kind of relationship that God had intended to have with his creation. He declared that his works, his words, and all of his ways were born of the Father. He modeled for us this narrow way that leads to life once we have a restored relationship with God as our Father. His life was a living blueprint for us. It was the way that he had come to demonstrate sonship to those he had ransomed. When he taught his disciples to pray, in what we know as the Lord's Prayer, it was an invitation in that prayer to our own relationship as sons, even as we begin it with "Our Father," and then "Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Following the ascension, Jesus was restored to his heavenly role, which was as high priest. So Hebrews 4:14-16 reads, "Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in all things as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore draw near with confidence to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and may find grace to help in time of need." We have also been called, as a result of our sonship, into a royal priesthood. And so today's question for you is, since we are called to be a royal priesthood, read 1 Peter 2:9. What have you learned from Jesus about being a priest? I have so emphasized in this podcast about sonship and Jesus modeling for us how to be sons. Hebrews tackles the topic of Jesus being a priest. What have you learned from him about being a royal priesthood?